So we're going to begin the seated part of our practice. So from triangle pose, you can make your way down onto the mat and just coming into a seated position with the feet about a foot out in front of you. And we're going to take a pose called Navasana, or boat pose. And for this, we're just going to extend the arms out in front of us with the fingers close together, and they'll be parallel to the ground. And we really want to keep the engagement of the core here. We keep the chest drawing through the arms. And then as we keep doing that, we'll just lift up the legs very slightly. You can play with doing one at a time if that's easier for you, or just go into the full expression with the legs raised also parallel to the ground. And then if you like, you can also extend the legs. So just have a little bit of a play here, keeping the gaze lowered to the ground. And just taking 3 breaths in the pose. And then whenever you're finished with that, we're going to take another pose, a seated twist. So we'll bring the left leg underneath our right leg. And then we'll bring the right foot to the outside of the left thigh. And then we'll just hug in that right knee into our chest. And you can take the right hand behind you, just gently twisting out to the right. And here, really breathing deeply into the belly. Feeling that with every exhale, you're going slightly deeper into the twist. We can inhale ourselves back to the center and just cross over the legs, so switching them out. And we'll take it on the other side, so inhaling and exhaling to get into the twist. And taking 3 deep breaths here. And whenever you're ready, you can come slowly to lower yourself onto your back. We'll keep the feet just in front of the hips, and you might be able to touch them with your fingers, so that's a great distance if you can do that. The next pose we'll take is bridge, so we're just going to be pushing through our heels and sending the hips up to the ceiling. So we'll take 2 rounds, so inhaling to begin, push through the heels, send the hips up to the ceiling, and you can shuffle your shoulders underneath the chest and interlace the fingers behind your back, just to give yourself a little bit more height. And just keep pushing through those feet, making sure that the knees don't splay out like this. So keeping them to the midline, and just taking 3 deep breaths here. And then we'll exhale, release the bind of the hands and just lower yourself down. And then in your own pace, you can take another one for 3 more breaths. So inhaling up, you can interlace the fingers if you like. And then as you're ready, release the interlace of the fingers and just lower yourself down, vertebra by vertebra. And we can hug the knees into the chest, do a little rocking on your lower back. And then we'll take a little spinal twist here on the ground. So dropping the knees over to the left side first, you can extend your right arm out to the side. And gazing over the right hand, just exhaling, coming into that twist. Breathing deeply into the right side of the body. And then inhaling the knees up to center, and we'll drop them over to the right side. Extending the left arm out. Gazing over the left palm. Breathing into the left side body now. And then inhaling the knees back in, and then we'll just extend the legs out for our final relaxation, Shavasana. So just starting to bring the breath, the awareness to the tips of the toes, into the ankles and the shins. Really feeling the weight of your body drawing you downward into the ground. And then moving with your breath, with your awareness, up the legs to the knees, the thighs, and the pelvic girdle, really feeling the weight of that on the ground and releasing any tension that's there. Using the breath to really relax into all of those spaces that this practice has opened up. And then moving further up through the belly, the chest, relaxing the shoulders further into the ground, and feeling the weight of the arms on the ground, the hands, the neck, and finally the head, really feeling the relaxation of any kind of thoughts that are going and circling in the mind, noticing any feelings of peacefulness that have arisen throughout this practice. And then just taking a couple more minutes by yourself to really release and surrender as much as you can. And we'll slowly just start to bring the awareness back to the breath. And I invite you to join me in a meditation practice while you're still in your relaxation, Shavasana, called Empty Bowl. So we'll just do a kind of modified version of this while you're in the relaxation. We're just going to first of all bring the attention, like we did at the very beginning of this class, to the nostrils, to the breath that's coming in and out naturally. So just for a few moments, a few breaths, just staying with the sensations of the breath entering and exiting the nostrils. We're not trying to change the breath. We're just becoming observers of the breath here, observers of the sensations of the breath and what sensations it unfolds as it moves through these passages. And with your next breath, start to bring that awareness to trace the movement of the breath through the nasal passages, down the throat, into the lungs, and down into the diaphragm, into the belly. And then as you exhale, just noticing how it retraces that journey. Just noticing how the air moves through the nose, the throat, goes to the lungs, the heart, the diaphragm, and just noticing the rising of the belly as you inhale. And then backwards, we can notice how it moves from the belly to the diaphragm, to the heart, to the lungs, to the throat, to the nose. And as you stay with this practice, I invite you to notice how there is a natural stop that forms when you inhale, and that stop happens behind the belly button. So the breath comes in, and then when it reaches that final point, it pauses. Might be a very subtle pause. You might have to really still and quieten the mind in order to feel it. And then again, when you exhale and the breath moves out of the body, there's a natural pausing that takes place just outside of the nostrils. So really this inhaling and exhaling is like a wave that's coming in and out. And as the wave moves up the beach, before it comes back down, there's a little tiny, almost intangible pause as the movement goes from moving in to moving out and back to moving in. So for the next few moments, I'll just invite you to stay with this breathing and awareness practice and really staying with it for as long as you like, letting go of any other thought, really just concentrating on this stopping place between inhale and exhale. So now we can gently release the attention and the concentration on the breath, and just allowing yourself to completely be for the next minute or so. And very gently beginning to invite some movement back into the fingers, into the toes. Feeling your body. And then we can take a deep inhale, and then we can exhale completely, rolling onto the right side of the body. You can use your right arm as a pillow for your head. Just staying here with the eyes closed for a few breaths. And then whenever you're ready, you can use your left arm to push yourself up into a seated position and keep the eyes closed. We can bring the palms in prayer at the heart, and we'll close the practice with Om and 3 Shantis. So if you'd like to join, you can take a deep inhale to begin. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you for practicing with me today. And like I said, feel free to revisit this video at any point where you think you might need it or benefit from it. Thank you.